For thousands of years, the Jewish story has carried a haunting refrain, being told over and over again, you don't belong here. Think back to England in 1290. King Edward I declared that every Jew must leave the country. Families packed their belongings onto carts, clutching the keys to homes they would never see again. Mothers carried children who were too young to understand why they could not return. These were people who had lived in England for generations, merchants, scholars, neighbors, yet suddenly, overnight, they were branded as outcasts. 2 centuries later, in Spain, where my family came from, the scene was even more dramatic. In 1492, Ferdinand and Isabella signed the Edict of Expulsion. Tens of thousands of Jews walked to the ports of Valencia and Seville. Entire communities that had flourished for centuries were uprooted. Parents handed their children scraps of bread for their journey into exile, uncertain if they would ever survive. Spain, which had once thrived with Jewish poets, philosophers, and physicians, erased them with the stroke of a pen. The story repeated itself across Europe, France, Portugal, German city-states. Each time, the pattern was the same. First came the slander, Jews accused of poisoning wells or hoarding wealth, of disloyalty. Then came the restrictions, no land ownership, ghettos, taxes, and finally the expulsion, the violence, the pogrom. And today, the hatred hasn't vanished. It has simply found a new target. Where once it was the Jew next door, today it is the Jewish state. Israel has become the Jew amongst the nations. Look at the double standards. At the United Nations, over half of all condemnations, all of these resolutions are aimed at Israel. Tiny Israel, a democracy of fewer than 10 million people. Not Iran, where women are jailed for showing their hair. Not North Korea, where citizens starve in forced labor camps. Not Syria, where a regime slaughtered hundreds of thousands of its own people. No. Israel is singled out, session after session, as if it were the great villain of the world. This is not legitimate criticism. This is the same old obsession, the same refusal to accept the Jew as equal, now projected onto the Jewish state. When Israel defends itself from terrorism, it is accused of war crimes. When Israel rescues civilians, it is accused of oppression. Israel is judged not by the standards of war or international law, but by impossible standards no other nation on earth is expected to meet. And the parallels with history are chilling. In medieval Europe, Jews were accused of well poisoning. Today, Israel is accused of cutting off water. In the Middle Ages, Jews were accused of ritual murder, of killing Christian children. Today, Israel is accused of deliberately targeting civilians, a modern blood libel wrapped in human rights language. Once, Jews were accused of controlling kings and treasuries. Today, Israel is accused of secretly controlling American foreign policy through lobbies and conspiracies. The clothes change, but the script is the same. And yet, there is one profound difference. When Jews were expelled from England, from Spain, from France, they had nowhere to go. They wandered stateless at the mercy of kings and mobs. But today there is Israel. The reborn homeland is not a gift from history. It is the answer to history. It does not end anti-Semitism, but it ensures that the Jewish people will never again be powerless before it. So when you see Israel demonized, when you hear the lies repeated, remember, this is not new. It is the oldest hatred in a new guise. The world once said to Jews, "You do not belong in our lands." Today it says to Israel, "You do not belong amongst the nations." But history teaches us something else too. that despite every expulsion, every exile, every libel, the Jewish people endured. And now, with Israel, they endure with strength. So yes, the UN can pass another 100 resolutions. Hamas can draft another 1,000 lies. The chorus of history can scream again, "You don't belong." But here's the irony. After 2,000 years of exile, there is finally one thing that the Jews won't do: leave.